Wrestling with siblings, what's up? Yeah. Right. Yeah. Interstate. Yeah.
Life is a fight, so I gotta get right. Can't have my back on the ropes.
Never.
This for my sister and bro. I swear that we'll make it, that's all that we hope. Life is stone cold. Get hit with a son, that's all that she wrote. The world that we live in has made me cutthroat. I started rapping about life just to cope. Now I spit fire like Ricky Steamboat. Straight from the bottom, got so much to gain. I had to grind just to build on my name. People call me champ, I'm feeling like Dwayne. I laid a Smackdown, here comes the pain.
Welcome to a brand new episode of Wrestling with Siblings. I'm your host, Araceli, and this is my co-host, Armando.
Hi guys, I'm Armando, and welcome to Wrestling with Siblings.
Alright, let's get started with Backlash live from Puerto Rico. And we already know we have a lot of wrestlers on this card. From Bad Bunny to Zelina Vega to Damien Priest. A whole bunch of them that are from Puerto Rico. And they're here to represent their home country.
And not only that, I like Backlash. Why? Because Backlash is a chance for those superstars that had the opportunity at WrestleMania to redeem themselves at this pay-per-view. So, and it was more special because, there was going to be a couple people like Zelina and Bad Bunny and Damien Priest that were going to be in their hometown and, their home country. So it was going to be very special for them. And, let's see what the night played out for them. Like I said, one of my favorite pay-per-views just because it's redemption right after WrestleMania.
That being said, let's move on to the very first match of the night. And personally, in my opinion, I think this was the best match of the night. They started off with a banger, and basically the entire pay-per-view followed off right after that. The Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, defense against Iyo Sky. I give this match a 5 stars. It was perfect from beginning to the end. Both competitors went out there and they gave 110% to this match.
I was really, really impressed by Iyo Sky. She really came out tonight. She was focused. She knew what she wanted to do and how she had to get to Bianca Belair. And there was a couple opportunities in this match where she had really, really near falls where I was like, oh my gosh, she's going to do it. She's going to do it. And just took the fight to Bianca, and I was really, really surprised that she went out there without damage control, and I think that really helped her out because she was able to focus. She wasn't distracted and see like, okay, I don't have to worry for them costing me the match or whatever. It was just a really, really amazing match from Iyo Sky. Very few matches that I've seen her have like this, and tonight she just really completely took it to Bianca Belair. I thought she was going to lose it. Even the crowd in Puerto Rico was right behind her too.
Yes, I 100% agree with you on that one. It was very surprising actually because Iyo's supposed to be the heel, but she was getting cheered. She was over, absolutely. I'm actually surprised WWE didn't pull the plug on it and didn't give her the championship, but I agree with what Armando said. I think not having damage control there really solidified what Iyo Sky is able to do on her own, but you gotta give her those props, man. You gotta give her flowers. She went out there and she took Bianca to a limit. I don't think there's been competitors other than a few of them that have taken Bianca to that level, and I think Bianca was, I don't want to say she was underestimating Iyo Sky, because it's definitely not the case, but I think she wasn't prepared for the Iyo Sky that she got, because Iyo Sky dominated 99.9% of that match, and the only advantage that Bianca Belair had over her was the power, and obviously her size.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that factor. I do agree that Bianca Belair came into this match expecting a different Iyo, but she got a completely different one. So she had done her homework on what she has seen before, and I think Iyo's game plan was completely different, and I think it got Bianca Belair off guard. Huge mistake by Bianca Belair because it almost cost her the match. But again, give props to Iyo because she came in with her own game plan and she executed it perfectly. It's just Bianca wasn't expecting this version of Iyo Sky.
But also, Bianca Belair, what she was expecting is damage control, and that's exactly why she was able to retain her women's championship. We see Dakota Kai coming right behind Bayley, and Bayley is there, going and getting involved in this match. I don't think it was her intention, but looking at it, yes, it was her intention to cost Iyo Sky that match. This is very, very interesting because what is Iyo Sky going to say after what happened at Backlash? Because it looks to me like Bayley intentionally cost her the Raw Women's Championship.
I think she didn't have no intention on it. I think Bayley was just bad timing on her part. Do I believe that Iyo could have won the match if damage control wasn't involved? it looked like it that way, right? Because she lost valuable seconds on when she was gonna do the moonsault, if that's what you call it. And I think those couple seconds were very, very crucial. Like I said, I don't think there was that intention on Bayley. It was just bad timing on her part, and it backfired.
I'll tell you why I think it's intentional, because as Bayley is walking by the ramp towards the ring, Dakota Kai is clearly trying to stop her. Number two, we know Bayley does not get along with her teammates, especially when they're getting opportunities that she is not getting. This team is not going to go very far, and I can guarantee it. One of them is going to snap, and I think this is the beginning of that. Alright, moving on to the very next match. Super random, out of nowhere. Seth Rollins versus Omos. I was telling Armando, actually, right before this match started, like, these guys have seen each other, maybe twice, talked to each other once, and that was about it, and that's how this feud just came about. But Omos had the biggest advantage over Seth Rollins. Obviously, his size was the biggest advantage, and Seth Rollins at first didn't know how to maneuver that, and then finally he started to target the legs of Omos, and that's when he was finally able to capitalize and finally able to bring Omos down.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think this was a whole different ballgame for Seth Rollins. He knew what he was getting himself into and how to handle the situation. He knew that once he brought down Omos down on his knees, pretty much he stood a chance. And Omos, on the other hand, he was pretty much relying on his power to see what he was able to do against Seth Rollins. But as we all know, Seth Rollins is a smart competitor. He's always thinking ahead of the game, and he walked in with the strategy right from the get-go.
Oh yeah, he knew that he had to keep Omos down for as long as he possibly could in order for him to even be able to be considered to even beat somebody like Omos. And I think Omos went in there extremely confident. He knew he had the size advantage, so obviously he was taking it at his own pace, going very, very slow. On the other hand, Seth Rollins keeping up the pace. That guy is completely on fire right now. Take advantage of that, because he is over, and rightfully so. The guy, every single time you put him in a match, he goes out there and he delivers.
That's why he's one of the best, and for him to prove it was a huge win he got today. And not only that, to prove how smart he is, look at what he did. He had delivered a curb stomp to Omos first, right? And he wasn't successful, so what does he do? He delivers one right off the top rope, and that right there just shows you what his game plan was, that he was focusing. He was ready to take on Omos, and he got a huge, huge victory on his plate.
All right, let's move on to Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory versus Branson Reed. Right off the bat, Bobby Lashley goes right after these two. He starts cleaning house, and then Austin Theory and Branson Reed realized, you know what? We have to team up on him. We have to find a way to take Bobby Lashley out of the equation. And that is exactly what happened. Theory and Reed basically were at partnership for maybe about 5-10 minutes. They were going after Lashley, making sure he was down, doing everything they possibly could to ensure that Bobby Lashley wasn't going to walk out of there as United States champion, but also at the exact same time as every man for themselves. So Branson Reed obviously starts to go after Austin Theory, and I think you have to give credit where credit is due, man. Austin Theory went in there. He had probably one of the best matches he's had, and he was able to retain against two other competitors. The guy is on fire right now.
And this is how much Austin Theory has grown. One, he made a strategy with Bronson Reed, like you said, which I thought it was a brilliant idea, because then you'll make it into a pretty much one-on-one match. And throughout the match, he was picking and choosing his moments with Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed. And this is the perfect example, because Bronson Reed takes out Bobby Lashley, if I'm not mistaken, and Austin Theory goes in for the pinfall. 1, 2, 3, and just like that, he wins it. So he was waiting for that perfect opportunity for it to come down, and that's how smart he is, and that's how much he has grown ever since he lost that money, ever since he cashed in his Money in the Bank opportunity,
Austin Theory has learned to take advantage of every single one of his opportunities. As soon as they come, he absolutely capitalizes on them, and that's why nobody has been able to take that United States Championship from him. But I also think we got a different side of Bobby Lashley. The guy, ever since Brock Lesnar his matches with Brock Lesnar, the guy has been different. He's been more motivated. He's been a lot more hungry. But I also feel like he hasn't been as fully focused as he should possibly be, because the guy is a main eventer. The guy should be going after the the Universal Championship or the brand new WWE Championship, right? But I feel like he's stuck in that mid-card position because he is not fully focused. He is not fully there. And I think once he finally breaks out of that, we're going to get that Bobby Lashley that we've been waiting for the last couple months.
I think I think Bobby Lashley lets his emotions get the best of him, and that's where MVP played a huge part in his career and where he got to where he was at, because I feel that Bobby Lashley is that impulsive where he goes and he reacts over on anger, or he just lets the best of him, the best get of him. And I think that's where MVP was able to control it and took him to where he's at. Hopefully he's able to refine his place and go back into that main event picture, because I do believe he's one of my picks to go get the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Yes, and we cannot underestimate somebody like Branson Reed. The guy is fantastic. He takes advantage, again, of every single opportunity that he gets, and he knows he's a major powerhouse. He knows he can basically manhandle anybody on that roster, and he takes full advantage of that. But I think he has to learn to adapt to his competitors. He has to learn to study them a little bit more, where their weaknesses are, and capitalize on each and every single one of those. But if I were the Raw roster, I would be very, very careful and be paying very close attention to somebody like Branson Reed.
Yeah, definitely. This guy has all the potential to be a star, and I think this is the powerhouse of Raw, and I wouldn't want to mess with this guy. This guy is just, his strength is unbelievable, and what he's able to do off the top rope, and I think it's just long overdue. I think he's going to be in the championship picture pretty soon, whether it's with Theory again or again into that tournament that that WWE is going to have for the World Heavyweight Championship.
All right, let's move on to probably the most emotional part of this entire show. This was my favorite part only because you guys all know we love Zelina.
Yeah.
That's our girl right there. Regardless of how the match went, this was a very well-deserved moment, and it was about the moment, not about what happened in that match. But Zelina Vega versus Rhea Ripley for the WWE Smackdown Women's Championship. Right off the bat, the emotions start flowing right through Zelina. You can tell she wants to give the best performance of her life, but at the same time, you can see the emotion is kind of taking over during this match, and Rhea Ripley knows, and she absolutely capitalized on that opportunity.
I have to agree with you on that. It was the match me and you were looking forward to, just because of how huge of fans we are of Zelina, and for us it was emotional too, because we've been following Zelina's career up pretty much up until now, up into WWE, and for her to have a title opportunity and to prove herself not only to her people but to the WWE and to the entire world. I mean, it like you said, it was more for the emotion, but regardless of the outcome, we were still proud of her, how she was able to deliver. And yeah, it was emotional. Even we got emotional too.
So at the end of the day, like, Zelina went out there, she threw 619s, Hurricanrana. No matter what you make Zelina do, the girl excels. She is that good at what she does. You put her as a management, she'll do it. You put her to cut a promo, the girl will knock it out of the park. You give her a match, she delivers 100% of the time, each and every single time. Very well-deserved moment for Zelina Vega. I've been saying this since the very beginning. Him and I have been saying it. We're huge Zelina fans. Yeah, I might be a little biased. I don't care. You can come at me all you want. But the woman, I should say, is a future Hall of Famer, and I can guarantee you between now and next year's WrestleMania, she will be champion of some sort. Not tag team champion, because she's already got in there, but she's either going to hold the Money in the Bank, or she is going to be SmackDown or Raw Women's Champion. Like, there is just no way. She is absolutely over. I think turning her babyface was the best decision they could have made. Don't get me wrong, heel Zelina will always be my favorite, because it's just so in character. That's what she does. But face Zelina is out of this world, and I think she's going to kill it. Absolutely kill it.
And she did a killer job with Rhea Ripley today. Like you said, she took the fight to Rhea, and it's very, very hard to do that against Rhea Ripley, just because of how aggressive and how powerful Rhea is. You know, she's intimidated right from the get-go. And what Zelina did in this match was just incredible. And it shows her skills, like you said. You know, we already know her mic skills. Whatever she does great. But also her in-ring skills are great, you know. And for her to take the fight to the champion, you know, it was just great, you know. And just Zelina did a really good job. And she proved why she's there and why she deserves to get a title opportunity again.
And Rhea Ripley, you could never underestimate somebody like Rhea Ripley. Obviously, Rhea Ripley went in knowing that Zelina Vega in this situation was the favorite. Why? They were in Puerto Rico. She knew. But she also knew that we were going to get a very vulnerable Zelina Vega and that we were going to get somebody that wasn't going to be fully 100% there. Why? The emotions were going to get the best of Zelina Vega. And Rhea Ripley knew that. She capitalized on that and she ended that match quick. But that standing ovation to Zelina was the best part of the entire show. Props to Zelina for this match, and I guarantee you, mark my words, between now and next year's WrestleMania, Zelina Vega will be Raw or SmackDown Women's Champion.
I agree, and you know, I would love to see that for Zelina. You know, I think she deserves it, and you know, we're proud of how far she's come.
Yes. All right, let's move on to Bad Bunny versus Damien Priest in a Puerto Rico street fight. Okay. Why did this match not main event? That's what I want to know. This match was so good. Mind you, I love the women's match. The women's match was fantastic. But this match, I feel like deserved to be the main event of Backlash. Nothing against Cody. I just feel the match was so good. It delivered. It ended perfectly for the way a pay-per-view this big should have ended.
And you had all the emotions. You know, it was the excitement, the emotion, like, oh, like, where's the LWO, where's the rest of Judgment Day. It just had all the emotions, like you said, to be the main event, you know. But I gotta give it also to Bad Bunny. You know, the guy doesn't do this full time, and every time he has come in here, he knocks it out of the ballpark. You know, and I think this is one of his best matches that he has had. You know, and I think this match was suit for him, and what better way to do it than with someone like Damien Priest as well, who's also talented. And I think they both did a great job in this match. The match was back and forth. You know, there really wasn't one that was dominating. Yeah, Bad Bunny would dominate, you know, for a couple minutes of the match, and then he'll come Damien Priest. So it was a pretty even match, if you want to call it that way.
Not only was it an even match, but they're both Puerto Rican. They're both representing their country, in a sense, in front of their people, so that made it even more awesome. The second Bad Bunny came out, that crowd went bonkers. That's probably one of the biggest pops I have heard. You couldn't even hear the music, and if I'm not mistaken now, mind you, I wasn't there, so if you were at Backlash, correct me if I am wrong, but it was probably louder than Edge returning at the Royal Rumble back in 2020.
I do agree. His pop was loud. I think the crowd was excited to go see Bad Bunny and what he could offer. And just, you know, even we heard it right here on TV while we were watching it on Peacock. You know, you could barely hear the music. And,
yeah,
you know, I think his pop was one of the loudest ones we've ever heard. And it's just, that just shows you how Bad Bunny is as a star, you know.
He is the biggest selling artist in the world now, coming into a world that, I mean, he was a fan, right? But he knows nothing about, athletic wise, comes in and is performing at the level that he is performing. Absolutely give that man the props and give him his flowers, because he absolutely deserves it. He comes in and he kills it every single time. And I agree, he had a killer match with Damien Priest. I got everything I was expecting out of this match, and I think more than what anybody was expecting, you know. Also with Damien Priest, you have to give that guy the credit as well. He went above and beyond, not only for his people, but to put Bad Bunny in the position that he was during that match.
I have to agree with you on that one. I full props to Damien Priest for, you know, also making this match happen. And, you know, honestly, I thought this match was going to be a short match, but both of these guys did a great job on extending it and making it the match that it was. You know, like we said, it had a little bit of everything. It was entertaining. There was emotion. And, you know, guys like Bad Bunny, you could tell he loves this business. You could tell he loves it, because the way he comes out with passion, the way he reacts to everything. You could tell he is one that really loves this business, and if he were to dedicate himself full time, I think he'll be a massive, massive star just because of how he portrays himself in the ring.
You can't even say that he would be a massive star. He already is the biggest star, probably in the pop star world right now. And in wrestling, he's getting there very, very, very quickly. And he's earned every single thing that's coming his way. And also, I love the way they brought in the Judgment Day and the way they brought in the LWO. It was absolutely perfect. And we also got to see a very rare and special appearance by Carlito, so the crowd went even more bonkers. Yep. I'm telling you guys, this should have been the main event. The way it was booked from the beginning to the very end, this is the way the pay-per-view should have ended. It started off with the banger. It should have ended with the banger.
Yeah, and definitely that Carlito part was so exciting. It brought a lot of memories for me when I was younger, just because I used to love watching Carlito, the way he came out with the album. And as soon as his music came out, everybody just went crazy. Like I said, bunkers. I agree with you. This match, definitely from beginning to end was really, really good. And, I think they knocked it out of the park with this one and Backlash as well.
I want to see him at SummerSlam. Find something for Bad Bunny, because the guy delivers every single time. And I guarantee you, everybody in Detroit will agree with me. Bring him into SummerSlam. Give anything. Have the guy face anybody. I don't care.
Even if he comes out singing to Porto Bonito or something like that.
Yeah, no, we'll anything you have the guy do, the guy absolutely kills it. All right, let's move on to Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Riddle versus the Bloodline.
A lot of revenge on the Bloodline. I think they needed a win tonight for sure. Not only for them to get back up, but also for the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. And I feel that the pressure's starting to get to the Bloodline. You could already tell, that them not getting a win, last week and for the WWE Unified Tag Team titles is really, really starting to affect. And you saw it throughout this match. You could see the tension between Solo, Jimmy, and Jay.
Yes, that definitely was there, and you can tell that Solo, I think the pressure is more on him because he's currently the right hand to the Tribal Chief, and I think he's trying to prove something to him. Maybe that he's the next title shot opponent. Maybe that he's got what it takes to be the next top star, and I get it, I do. But during this match, we saw, because of Solo, I believe it was Jimmy superkick Jay, or Jay superkick Jimmy. I don't remember, but there was a miscommunication there. And then Solo literally almost took out Jay, and it's like the miscommunication was there, and then they would tag each other, and then Solo would tag right back in, and then Jay would tag right back in. The miscommunication was there, and I think this is where the egos are now going to start clashing, and this is where Roman Reigns is going to play a very, very important role, because Roman Reigns is influencing Solo, and Solo is going out of his way to try to be the leader of the Bloodline.
I think Solo is trying to get everybody back on the same page, because Jimmy and Jay have been struggling with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and they've been too focused on doing their own thing, and the only one that's been fully focused on the Bloodline is Solo. And I agree, and I think Roman has shifted more towards Solo as his right-hand man, because he's the more serious one and the one that gets business done.
But I don't agree with him not trying to break them apart, because if that's what he was trying to do, why doesn't he just let them be a part of the match instead of tagging himself in? He was the one that was causing all of these issues within the Bloodline, because we know that Jimmy and Jay, I mean, not only were they born together, but they work extremely well together. There is never any miscommunication between the Usos. That is probably the best tag team that gets along the best in the WWE right now. So I think Solo, I don't want to say intentionally, but at the same time, yes, intentionally, he was poking at the Usos, trying, I don't know if it was trying to get a reaction or trying to like, hey, something has to click inside of you guys right now, but he was definitely instigating the Usos.
I think Roman Reigns gave specific, and this is what I think Roman Reigns gave specific instructions to Solo to take care of one problem, and that problem is Jimmy and Jay. And I think Solo is going to play a huge part in getting rid of Jimmy and Jay, because at this point, I feel that Roman doesn't trust him or doesn't like him anymore. And ever since they lost that title, their titles, I feel that Roman kind of just drifted away from them. And I think Solo is going to be a huge part in getting rid of Jimmy and Jay.
Definitely. Can't wait to see how that plays out. But let's touch a little bit on the Brotherhood, and I like to call them that because they basically are, they're not blood brothers, but they are brothers. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn seem to be on the same page. They are working very, very, very well together. They are exceeding, I think, everybody's expectations, and I think they found their niche with Riddle as well, and you have to give those guys credit where credit is due. They were going in knowing that the Bloodline and Solo had the biggest advantage because, one, they're family. They know each other super, super well. If there's any bonds that can be broken, that's definitely one of them. So you got to give props to the Kevin Owens, the Sami Zayn, and Riddle in this case for the match that they put on. I think they went in extremely prepared, but at the same time there was seconds when I thought like they felt there was no way they were going to win this match.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think, KO and Sami Zayn, I mean, they've known each other for a long time, and they've been working together ever since, they were working in Indies, and if anybody was going to defeat the Usos, it was going to be these guys. So they got the number. I think they also walked in with the confidence, but at the same time knowing what they were getting themselves into. And I think they finally found that even number, which is Riddle. And I think Riddle came in at a perfect time to handle the Bloodline. If Riddle wouldn't have been in the picture, I think Sami and KO, as good as they are, and them defeating the Usos, I think they still would have struggled. But I think, like I said, Riddle came in the perfect timing into the picture. And he was also seeking revenge from Solo, and I think, he's not going to get tired until Solo, either, gets hurt or he seeks redemption from him, because he hasn't forgotten that injury that he got a couple months ago from Solo. So it played out perfectly for KO and Sami Zayn.
All right, let's move on to our main event, Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. First time ever. And not only that, we never got an explanation as to why Brock Lesnar just randomly attacked Cody Rhodes at the Raw after WrestleMania. Absolutely interesting. And then I want to say it's like 5-10 minutes into this match, Brock Lesnar is busted open. There is blood all over the ring. It was because Cody took off the turnbuckle and obviously put Brock right through it. And then before that, you have to also keep in mind that Cody Rhodes was smart. He gave himself an advantage right before Brock Lesnar enters the ring. What does he do? He goes out, goes to the announce table, uses the announce table, I like to call it the shield, uses it on Brock Lesnar, and then he stomps his way all the way to the steel steps. He uses the steel steps to his advantage and then brings Brock into this match. He knew that if he didn't get an advantage over Brock Lesnar, his chances were going to be very, very, very slim.
I think Cody did his homework on this match. And I like the strategy. Yeah, it seems dirty or whatever, but he tried to take advantage of a situation. As soon as Brock Lesnar came out, he saw the opportunity, he attacked him. It was a great match. I think Cody's strategy was good, and he outsmarted Brock Lesnar. I think Brock Lesnar also got caught up in his emotions and just wanted to destroy Cody Rhodes. And I think that was Brock Lesnar's mistake, and Cody was able to capitalize on it. And I think this is a huge, huge win for Cody Rhodes and for him to get back on track to where he needs to go. I think he needed this win.
Brock went into this match extremely, extremely confident because he goes in and he suplex after suplex after suplex after suplex. That's what we were expecting. That's exactly what Brock Lesnar does, and that's his routine. And somebody like Cody Rhodes, I think, studied that routine from Brock Lesnar because the way he was able to conquer him was, I don't want to say out of the world, but it was absolutely smart because he knew that if he can keep Brock down long enough, he was going to be able to get a victory over him. And I think that was Cody's biggest advantage going into this match because he knew F5, suplex, F5, suplex, 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 suplex. And I think he went in extremely prepared for that. Brock, on the other hand, like I said, he went in super confident, but I don't think he was ready for what Cody Rhodes had studied, in a sense, because he went in and you can tell like there was moments where he wasn't expecting the performance that he got from Cody Rhodes.
And I think, like I said, Brock Lesnar didn't underestimate Cody. I think he just wanted to completely annihilate him and destroy him. And I think that was his mistake. Was he focused? Yes, but I think he just wanted to completely destroy Cody Rhodes. And I think he just took the advantage on that situation.
What's next for these two guys? Because, I don't know. I mean, Brock has faced just about everybody in the roster already. We know so far, this is being filmed after the announcement was made that Cody will be a part of the new championship, for the new championship title. So we know that's the direction they're going to go kind of with Cody. If Seth doesn't win it, Cody Rhodes is going to win it. But what's next for Brock Lesnar? Like, what do we have next for him? He's gone against Roman. He's faced Seth. He's faced Lashley. He's already faced Cody Rhodes. Like, what is next for somebody like Brock Lesnar?
Keep in mind, Brock Lesnar is a free agent, so he's free to sign whoever he wants to. And I think he's going to end up being on Raw. Why? Because I think he has his eyes set on that new championship, the World Heavyweight Championship. And don't be surprised if this isn't the last time we're going to see Cody versus Brock Lesnar. I think if anybody's going to make it to the championship, to the finals of this championship, it's going to be Cody for sure. The other one could be Seth.
Seth, I think.
I also think it might be Brock Lesnar. I think Brock Lesnar is going to insert himself either on Raw or on Smackdown. Because keep in mind, SmackDown's also being a participant in this tournament. So we'll be surprised either if Brock Lesnar inserts himself in that. And if he inserts himself, I do see him making it all the way to the final. Against who? Probably Cody, maybe Seth. Those are probably the top two. Another one that I like, Finn Balor. I think he's long overdue and he's doing great things with Judgment Day. But those are pretty much the 4 picks, and I think that's what's going to happen next with Brock Lesnar and Cody for sure, going to those tournaments and potentially seeing each other either in the final or down the road in the tournament as well.
All right, you guys, that is all we have for you guys on this episode of Wrestling with Siblings. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe and become a part of the Siblings today. And very quickly before we leave, this podcast is sponsored by Optivus Crew. So head over to optivuscrew.com right now to support the brand, guys. Support the brand. And for those of you that do not know what WWS stands for, Armando, what does WWS stand for?
Wrestling with Siblings. Thank you guys so much and see you guys next time.